Casino been in the game since way back, talking about it openly in interviews, even dropping mixtapes called Ex-Drug Dealer in 2013. The man literally told the world he was an ex-dealer. They caught Casino with $4,000 cash in his pockets, but that was just pocket change compared to what they found inside. 21 kilograms of that deadly substance, $380,000 in rubber-banded cash stacks, a money counter, food sealer machine, and a Glock 19.
YouTube, what's good, family? It's MasoMoney back with another video. So y'all know that FBG Casino, which is Future's blood brother, yes, his blood, just got locked up on a Fed case. I'm talking about here with the Rico. And that's one of my biggest fears, man. Imagine getting rich and famous, getting on, making your millions. You know, that's what I'm trying to do, make my millions, and then boom, your best friend, your blood brother, your family who with you can't leave the streets, man. Like, man, that's one thing about this life, man. Some people just be stuck in their ways. And I think this is Future's older brother, so he probably has a bit more understanding of the street life. So, just like that one song go, Future song, Feds did a sweep. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're about to watch this video together. Let's get straight into it.
Why the hell would Future's blood brother, who kind of like runs the FBG label, why would he have a bunch of like, do people keep for their own personal use?
No, right? Doing this in Atlanta.
Like, that's what I'm no.
Bruises face charged law enforcement in a Forest Park rental home where they discovered 21 kilos of fentanyl and 380,000 cash. Oh, I'm talking about. I know some niggas.
So that kind of seems like they're doing some drug dealing, right? 21 kilos?
No,
kilos?
Not even half a
The feds just did a fucking sweep. Future's blood brother, FBG Casino, is now facing a federal sentence that could put his ass away for life. And this case has the entire hip-hop community shook. Behind Casino's flashy lifestyle and FBG connections, he was running a major operation that ultimately led to the feds kicking down doors with 21 kilograms of that poison and nearly $400,000 in cash. The crazy truth behind what brought Casino down is more complex than anyone imagined, and the feds are building something bigger that could reach all the way to Future himself. Yo, what's good, fam? We about to dive deep into some real federal drama that's been shaking up the Atlanta hip-hop scene, and trust me, this story got more layers than you think. Now, before we get into this wild ride, let me keep it 100 with y'all. The street's been...
I think Boston Richie, Future artist too, he went Fed too. Hold on, gang. You gotta move big weight to get signed by Future? You gotta do your research on that. I gotta do some more research.
About Casino getting snatched up, but yo, we about to separate the facts from the fiction, the real from the fake. November 19th, 2025. That's the date that changed everything for Rico DeVille Boyce, better known as FBG Casino, Future's actual blood brother. This 41-year-old was chilling at an Airbnb in Forest Park, Georgia, when the federal task force came through like a hurricane. Now, hold up before y'all start thinking this is just another street arrest. We talking federal charges, mandatory minimums, and the type of case that got Rico written all over it. But here's where it gets real spicy. Casino been moving like this for years, so why now? And why him? So, check it. November 14th, 2025. Federal agents from the FBI, DEA, and Clayton County Police rolled up on this Forest Park rental property like they was serving warrants in a movie. Picture this. Casino sees them coming and tries to make a run for it through the side door. 41 years old, running from the feds like he's still 20-something in the streets. But here's the thing about federal agents. They don't come unprepared. They had this whole operation mapped out, probably been watching Casino for months. When they grabbed him trying to flee, they found $4,000 cash in his pockets. Now, for most people, that's a lot of money, but for someone moving the weight Casino was allegedly moving, that's just walking around money. Now, in the hood, we know running from the police is natural instinct,
100%.
But when it's federal agents, that's a whole different level of heat. Casino's situation was different, because this wasn't no corner boy operation. 100%. We talking about a sophisticated distribution network that had been flying under the radar for years. Let me tell y'all about David Estevan Montilo Diaz, the 23-year-old from Coachella, California, who got caught up in this mess with Casino. This cross-state connection is what probably put them on the federal radar in the first place.
Some
When you
young
got
boy.
people moving product from California to Georgia, that's interstate
That's
commerce,
a
and that's when the
long
feds
route.
get interested. This young man from the West Coast probably thought he was just making some easy money,
How they
but
getting
now
that
he's
off? What,
facing the
flying?
same life sentence as
Driving?
Casino. They caught Casino with $4,000 cash in his
shipping?
pockets, but that
The
was
fuck?
just pocket change
Vince?
compared to what they found inside. 21 kilograms of that deadly substance,
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
$380,000 in
Ain't no
rubber
way.
banded cash stacks,
He's supposed
a
to be a
money
different type
counter,
of high.
food sealer machine, and a Glock 19. That's some organized operation right there.
And what's crazy is a whole bunch of these Atlanta people's artists and stuff is dying. Well, fan, who would have thought that they the ones supplying what's making everybody? Like Rich Homie Quan, right? Rich Homie Quan, he died from overdosing on fake pills. And it turned out Casino plugging the city, allegedly. You know, the feds do a sweep like that, you get to get in that. No, ain't no. He got caught in the act, in the house. I ain't gonna lie, I thought for him to be the head of a label, he'd be too big to even be still in a trap. You gotta lead a trap, them people know your name. What
The feds said they found an additional $80,000 in a
Chrome
designer
bag,
bag that
crazy.
belonged to Casino. This
That Chrome
man
bag
was
hard.
living like a kingpin while his brother worth hundreds of millions.
He probably trying to
But
match his
here's
brother.
what's
Damn.
really wild about this whole situation. Casino literally appeared in Future's music video called Feds Did a Sweep. In that video, he's surrounded by money, product, and living exactly the lifestyle that eventually got him arrested.
So this art is really showing you what life is, because Casino's in the Feds Did a Sweep video by Future. Boom, look up a few years later, Feds do a sweep. He get caught in a trap with half an ounce and all them bricks. Not them bricks that you used to. I'm talking about the ones that came from China.
Imitating art or art imitating
Where
life.
they do this at, bro?
Either way,
I don't
it's
want
like
no
he was
diamonds
telling
that
the
bad to
world
be risking like
exactly
that.
what he was doing, and the feds were probably
Ain't nothing on
taking
this
notes.
earth about
But
my
yo,
life,
this
man.
is where the story gets deeper than just a simple possession case. See, Casino been in the game since way back, talking about it openly in interviews, even dropping mixtapes called Ex-Drug Dealer in 2013. The man literally told the world he was an ex-dealer, but apparently that ex part was just for show. Let me break down Casino's timeline for y'all, because this story been building for over a decade. Back in 2013, he dropped that Ex-Drug Dealer mixtape, claiming he was done with the streets and focusing on music. The project featured Future, Young Scooter, and had
Young
production
Scooter died
from
in the
Metro
trap, too.
Boomin and Zaytoven, all the heavy hitters from Atlanta. Casino was positioning himself
They
as
really the
someone who
pioneers
left
for
the
this shit.
streets behind for the music industry. Fast forward to 2017, and Casino's doing interviews with DJ Small's Eyes, talking about how trapping is dead, saying real trappers don't exist no more. He's literally on camera saying the game changed, that people are sloppy, posting
Niggas
everything
different,
on
bro.
social media, basically building their own cases. The irony is thick, because that's
different,
exactly
bro.
what he was doing,
Literally.
building his own case through years of interviews and social media posts.
Right.
Then there's that street politician interview where Casino's
We about to see a whole bunch of unsealed federal paperwork of this nigga's interviews now.
round allegedly
Guaranteed.
strapped, talking about having
talking
shooters
about-
on deck, showing off
that's
weapons
Atlanta,
in the
everybody got
back of
that.
a Rolls Royce. People in the comments were saying he was moving reckless, that these videos were just self-incrimination. One comment said, "How many homies gotta go to the feds before these cats realize these videos are just self-incrimination?"
Stop playing,
Turns
folks.
out that comment was prophetic. For y'all who might not understand the street dynamics, let me explain. When your brother is worth $50 to $100 million
That's
like
crazy amount of
Future,
M.
and you still out here risking federal time, that's either pride,
Shit, nigga worth
stupidity,
2.5
or something
M's.
deeper.
Might as well chill
In
out,
the
gang.
culture, we call that
50?
not wanting to feel dependent. But Casino took that independence to a whole different level. Some people would rather risk everything than feel like they're living off someone else's success, even if that
Right.
someone is their
And that's
own
his
blood
big brother.
brother. But here's
So
where
he
it gets
probably,
complicated. Casino wasn't just Future's brother. He was also involved in the
He's his
business
manager,
side
right?
of FBG.
That's
He was
Rico.
described as someone who handled data.
I can see it now. Them folks saying, shit, no nigga had this amount of money. They look at his brother. They say, your brother made $380,000. F the fact you sold your catalog for 60 M. He gotta go fed. Bro, some niggas just got too much power. Future one of them. Don't y'all know Future got more hits than Elvis? You better do your research on that. So like, I get nervous. Cause them folks, them people don't get to plan with niggas running up that much money. I might just get hit with the Rico.
Operations, someone Future trusted with the label. So the question becomes, where does the legitimate business end and the illegal activity begin? That's exactly the type of gray area the feds love to exploit in Rico cases. The real kicker though, Casino facing a mandatory minimum of 10 years with a maximum of life in prison.
He getting more than
At
that.
41 years old, that's essentially a death sentence.
They're gonna give him 30.
But here's what got me thinking. Casino been moving like this for
But he
years,
got them good
posting
lawyers.
on social media, doing interviews, even had that viral moment in Future's Feds Did a Sweep video where he's literally surrounded by money and product.
Life
So
imitating
why
art.
did the feds move now? Real talk, somebody had to drop a dime. You don't just stumble across 21 kilos and $380,000 in
been
cash by
watching.
accident. The feds
Bro.
had specific.
So y'all think that the stuff that the president did, I ain't even gonna get to say names. The president is literally making a conscious effort to stop stuff coming from out of the different countries, to stop stuff coming from China, coming from Mexico, all this stuff, and he's serving a drug that comes directly from the national. How you getting drugs from the international ops? You know they coming to get you. Think about it. That's not nothing
Intelligence.
little baby
They knew
stuff.
exactly
We
where
talking
to
about
look,
fatty.
when to move, and what they'd find. Casino been operating for years, but something changed. Maybe it was the co-defendant David Montilo Diaz from California. That cross-state connection probably put them on federal radar. But let me tell y'all how these federal cases really work. The feds don't just wake up one day and decide to raid somebody. They build cases for months,
Years.
sometimes years. They use wiretaps, surveillance, financial records,
Like
and
that
most
YSL
importantly,
case, it was
they
been there
flip
for
people.
19 years,
Somebody in Casino's circle got jammed up and started talking to save their own skin. Could have been someone who got caught with a smaller
Streets is
amount and
dead. They got
decided to
some
give
info
up
for
the
you.
big fish to avoid doing time
And we got some video
themselves.
proof.
Now, this ain't
Shit
just
over
about
with, bro.
Casino getting caught with product. The feds love building Rico cases, and they got a blueprint from what they did to Young Thug and YSL.
I'm
Think
knowing,
about it.
bro. One
Future
thing I'm
got
doing is knowing.
FBG, which stands for Free Bands Gang. Casino runs day-to-day operations. They got multiple artists, money flowing, and now federal charges. The feds could easily paint a picture where Future is the leader of a criminal enterprise,
That's what I was
using his
saying.
music career to launder money
I'm just
from
not
his
trying to leave my
brother's
brother in the hood.
operation.
That's my
Look
blood,
at what
bro. You want
happened
me to
with
leave him in
Young
the
Thug
hood?
and
That's my blood.
YSL. The feds argued that YSL wasn't just a record label, but a criminal street gang. They used rap lyrics, social media posts, and business transactions as evidence. Future's in an even more vulnerable position because his brother just got caught with 21 kilos.
Yeah, his
The
brother
feds
would
could
be a
argue
bad.
that Future knew about his brother's activities and used FBG to clean the money. Let that sink in for a minute. Future been rapping about the streets, the trap, moving weight, all that could be
FBG?
used as
God
evidence
forbid.
in a Rico case. Songs like Move That Dope, Karate Chop. His whole catalog is filled with references to the lifestyle his brother was allegedly living.
I'm
The
just talking
feds
about what I come
love
from.
using rap lyrics, and Future got a whole catalog talking about that life. They could argue that FBG isn't just a record label, but a criminal organization with Future as
They
the boss
definitely
and
do it to
Casino
you,
as
too.
the street lieutenant. Here's another angle the feds might pursue, following the money. If Casino was making hundreds of thousands of dollars from
Or
illegal
reinvesting that
activities,
money into
where
music.
was that money going? Was any of it being invested in FBG?
That's what I'm
Were there
saying.
legitimate business transactions that were actually money laundering? The feds have forensic accountants who specialize in tracing dirty money through legitimate businesses.
I was
Now,
just
this
listening-
ain't just about
I
one
was just listening to a Future song where he said something about having a bag of cash like Fent. It's not looking good right now, chat. Hold on. The police may be watching. Let me shut up. My fault, y'all. I am not a snitch. Wait.
This is about how the feds operate
know.
in 2025.
I gotta
They
think
don't
about
just want the street level
I don't
deals.
think that's snitching.
They want the whole
the block
organization.
deal.
Look at what happened with
But I'm not on the
YSL.
block.
Look at
I'm
what
on the
they
internet.
tried with Cash Money back in the day. Look at the BMF case. The pattern is
know.
always the same. Start with the
gotta think
soldiers,
about it.
work your way up to the generals. But here's what really got me thinking. Why now? Casino been doing this for years. So why did the feds move in November
All right, he been doing
2025?
this for a lot of years.
Could be that Trump's new administration is cracking down harder on
See,
these
stuff
cases.
like that,
Could be
me
that
knowing all
someone
that,
high
looking
up
like
in
this, y'all
Casino's
gotta subscribe, 'cause
organization
what
got
other brother,
arrested and
putting you
started
down. I can
cooperating.
put you
Or
down.
could be that the feds finally had enough evidence to move forward with a larger Rico case. But here's what really got me confused. Why was Casino still in the streets when Future could have easily put him on payroll? We talking about a man worth hundreds of millions, and his blood brother out here risking life in federal prison for what?
Okay, listen. Let me put this into block explanation. If you from the block and someone tells you to invest, my homie not buying no ETF. He's going to buy a brick. Stop playing. Why are you acting like, bro, we're not finna, bro. Are you serious? You think I'm about to buy Nvidia stock when this new iced out Cuban is the same amount? What are we talking about?
Independence, or maybe Future been keeping his distance because he knew this day would come. See, in the streets, there's this mentality that you don't abandon the game that made you. Even when you got legitimate opportunities, some people feel like they owe the streets something. Casino might have felt like he couldn't just walk away from the people who were depending on him, the network he built over the years. But that loyalty to the streets might cost him the rest of his life. In the streets, we know family loyalty runs deep, but business is business. Future probably told Casino years ago to get out the game, but you can't save somebody who don't want to be saved. Now Future in a position where helping his brother could implicate himself in a federal conspiracy. If Future pays for Casino's legal defense, the feds might argue that's evidence of a criminal enterprise taking care of its members. The real question is whether this is just about Casino or if the feds building something bigger. They got Casino on conspiracy charges, which means they believe he was working with others. They got that California connection with Montilo Diaz. They got years of social media posts, interviews, and music videos that could be used as evidence. This could be the beginning of a much larger investigation into FBG as an organization. Let me tell y'all about this Homeland Security task force that arrested Casino. This ain't just local police. This is a federal task force specifically designed to target transnational criminal organizations. They got resources, they got manpower, and they got a mandate to go after big fish. The fact that they use this task force for Casino's case suggests they think this is bigger than just one man moving product. At the end of the day, Casino's situation isn't just about getting caught with product. It's about pride, family loyalty, and the consequences of not knowing when to walk away. This man had every opportunity to leave the streets behind. His brother is one of the biggest rappers in the world. He could have been living comfortable without risking federal time. But sometimes the streets don't let you go, or maybe you don't want to let the streets go. Casino's story is a cautionary tale about what happens when you can't evolve past your circumstances. He had the blueprint for success right in front of him. His brother went from the streets to superstardom, but instead of following that path, Casino stayed loyal to a game that was never loyal to him. Now he's 41 years old, facing life in prison, and for what? Money he didn't need. Respect from people who won't be there when he's doing decades in federal prison. The real question is, what happens next for Future and FBG? If the feds are building a Rico case, this is just the beginning. They'll be watching every move, analyzing every lyric, following every dollar. Future might have to make some hard decisions about his brother and his business to protect himself and his career. This case could have major implications for the entire hip-hop industry. If the feds successfully argue that FBG is a criminal enterprise, it sets a precedent for going after other labels and artists. Every rapper who ever talked about the streets in their music could potentially be vulnerable to this type of prosecution. This case is bigger than just Casino. It's about how the feds are targeting hip-hop culture and using our own words against us. They did it to Bobby Shmurda, they did it to Young Thug, and now they might be coming for Future. The message is clear. Success in hip-hop doesn't protect you from federal investigation, especially when family members are still active in the streets.
No, 100%, y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching this video with me. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what do y'all think about that.